Hey guys, and welcome to another video. I'm back the second week in a row. Today I'm really excited to show you something. I revised the Bae bracelet so that it doesn't have any stretching issues. Now if you remember back when I originally released it, I'll show you a few that I brought here. This is the original Bae bracelet. If you stretch it out, I'll stretch out a little bit here, it gets all messy. And that was my main gripe with it. But everyone on Instagram wanted me to post it, so I was like, alright, I'll post it. I'll just tell everyone it has stretching issues. So as you can see, I added clasps at the end here so I could put it on without stretching it. But anyways, that always was my major issue with this bracelet. So I finally fixed it. I figured out how to make it so that when you stretch it, it doesn't hurt it. So it looks a tiny bit different from the original. Not like a huge significant difference though. Really all I fixed were these side and middle portions. If you can tell, they're not fishtailed, they're single chained basically, and just kind of crammed in there. But here they're actually fishtailed, and you can stretch it out, and as you can see, no issues. So I'm really excited about that. I made a bunch of them. I made these two to show. This is how the original color scheme that I usually picked for it, which is, you know, a rainbow gradient for these two areas and then borders that are one color. But then this one I did rainbow borders. And then I made another two. I made one with clear bands. And then I made one with some nice pretty pastels. I think this one's my favorite. Anyways, I think I've babbled on long enough. So let's get started. So I will admit this is made a little bit differently than the original Bae bracelet. I don't think it's too difficult, but you're going to need either safety pins or a lot of C-clips to help you make it. Right here I have 24. That's how many I use for my wrist size. You're not going to end up using these up, you just need them to help you weave it. And you're going to need gradient colors. I'm using these four. It's been so long I don't even remember the names of these. But they're like pearly bands. I got like a pearly brown and gold, like a pearly orange, and then a pink. And then I have two C-clips, preferably large ones if you have them, to finish the bracelet. And then I like to make my helping C-clips a color that's very different from the main portion of my bracelet. But anyways, let's get started. So first off, let me grab one to show you how to make it. I'm going to be using this color scheme with the two sections of rainbow. So the first section you make is this very center section. And then you're going to add 2 rows on each side, 2 rows of extra weaving. That's how you're going to make the bracelet. So I'll start off with showing you how to make the center row. Again, I'm using that color scheme, or, well, that color, I guess, organization of color. That's a better term for it. So you're going to take 2 of your first color in your main gradient, which for me is this brown. And then you're going to take 1 of your background colors and border colors, which is white. And you're going to put 1 on your hook, pull the other through, and then pull the back band over. And then you're going to pick up the white, pick up your remaining band, pull it through, pull the back band over. Doesn't really matter what order you do all this in, just as long as you have these 2 bits, these 2 halves of the side color bands meeting in the center, like this. So you're going to set that to the side for a split second. You're going to take 2 of your next color in your pattern, and then again another white. Put the white on your hook, pull this color through, and of course pull the back over so it makes a little knot-ish thing. And then you're going to pick up the piece that you just made, and being very careful that these side bands don't unravel, you're going to put your hook through these middle 2 colored bands, and then with your white facing down like this, with the open part of the band facing down, you're going to pull this through these browns. And again, be very gentle. Make sure these bands don't unravel. And then you're going to do what you did previously on the row beneath this. Pull this gold through again, making sure nothing unravels. And then pulling the back band over. Your band's going to get kind of twisty here, so of course make sure you untwist it. And then this is the point where I like to add my helping clips. So these are basically what you're going to use to keep these bands that are hanging out from unraveling and ruining your bracelet. So you're going to clip these two bands together. And you're going to make sure that they're not twisted as you're putting them on. And then you're going to do the same on the other side. And again, like I said, if you have safety pins that you want to use, you can fit a lot more bands on those. Personally, I've tried the safety pin method. I prefer the C-clips like I'm showing you guys. There's that. And then you're going to move on to your next row, which is oranges for me. Again, grab 2 oranges, 1 white. Knot your orange onto the white. And then, oops. And then you're going to grab these bands. And now you'll see you have 4 colored bands in the middle. But like a fishtail, you're going to just pick out the outer 2 bands, which for me is the gold. Leave those browns behind. Pull this white through again, making sure the open part of it is facing downward. Then you're going to knot on your second orange band. Pull the back over and untwist. So it looks like this. And then you're going to, of course, clip it like the others onto your helping clips. And then I'm going to do this, my 4th color, pink. Same exact thing. Knotting it on the same way. And again, you're going to fishtail it. Just grab the outer 2 colors. Pull this white through with the loop facing downward. Pick up the pink and knot it on like usual. Untwist. And then add it to your helping clip. And there you go. So, after I get 4 bands on each clip, I like to move on and use another clip. You can use more or less than that, but I think putting 4 bands on each is the best. So, of course, I'm going to move back to brown. You don't have to use only 4 colors for your main gradient. You can use as many as you want. I just like to use like a multiple of 12, or I guess a factor of 12. Multiple or factor of 12 because my end bracelet ends up having 48 rows and those numbers are divisible by 48. So yeah, if that makes any sense. And I like to complete a full cycle of my gradient. So I don't want to just end with like a gold because then that wouldn't be completed, if that makes sense. Anyways, so I'm just adding that brown on, of course, like I normally would. And then, either you can add your clip now, or you can wait to add it on the next row, but I'm going to add it now, that way this doesn't risk, unraveling in the meantime. So I'm just going to clip each end. These will just dangle on here for the time being. And then you move on to your next color. Again, same old pattern. I'm just doing it again so I can show you how to add the second clip. Second row of clips. I guess it's 2 clips that you're adding now. And then fishtail this one on, of course, as normal. And all of that. And then again, making sure you're not twisting your bands, making sure it's totally straight. You're going to add this gold on to the clips as well. And sometimes in the middle it'll get kind of unorganized. Bands from the previous row should be in the middle, and the newest band should be on the outside. But anyways, it's going to look kind of messy, going to look really wonky while you move on with this. So you're just going to get to the end, and you're going to make sure that it fits around your wrist. Again, my bracelets, I do typically 48 rows, so that's 48 whites or 48 pairs of colors. That's just for my tiny little wrist though. You might need more. But I'll show you how to measure it around your wrist because it'll stretch out while you do this because of the clips aren't like holding it entirely in place. So I'll show you how you can scrunch it down to its accurate size, and then you can measure it, and then you can move on to your first of your side rows. So I'll just finish this up, and then I'll show you how to do the first side row. Alright, so I'm back. I have made the entire thing, and as you see it kind of looks like a messy centipede. But it should look something like this. Now, to make sure it fits you, what I like to do is tug on the C-clips, and then I'll just slowly scrunch it back together. And make sure you aren't like pulling on it or dangling it, or else it'll just stretch back out again. So I'm doing it laying down here. So I've done all that, and as you can see, it fits me. So I'm good to go, I'm good to move on. So now you're going to flip it around so that the color you last added, which for me is pink, is now on the bottom. And so basically you're going to work up it, but going the opposite direction. So now you're going to be adding your white bands. So you're going to start by picking up the bottom colored band and unclipping it. By the way, you should be done adding your colored bands now. Now you should only be adding white from here on out. You're going to pick up your white band, pull it through, and then pull it over like you normally would, and untwist it. And you're going to grab onto this white and you're going to keep it on your hook until you end up clipping a few more of them. And now you're going to put your hook through these 2 whites here. Then you're going to pick up your next colored band, which for me is the orange, unclip it, and you're going to pull this band through the whites. After you do this, you're going to pick up another white band, pull it through, and then do your typical knot. Like that. Gonna move my white, dropped a white band. Oh well. Move my white bands over here so they're easier for me to grab. And then, again, like what you did the previous row, it's kind of a variation of what you did previously. You're only going to pick up the outer 2 white bands, which are the white bands. One of them is the one you just added, the other one is the one up next on this center row that you've already made. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to unclip your next color in your sequence, Of course, always make sure it's not twisted. Make sure it's going through straight. And then you're going to, of course, add your white like you normally would. Pull it through. Pull the back over the front and untwist. And then again, same thing. Grab the outer 2 white bands, like you're fishtailing. Now you're on your last band, so you're just going to unclip that. Set your clip off to the side, you're going to be using it soon. Pull this through, and then knot on your white, like you usually would. Alright, so now you can see you've added whites on to the 4 bands that were clipped earlier. Now you're just going to pick that clip back up, clip these 4 whites that have been on your hook. And then you can pull them off, like that. And then of course you just keep going down the same exact way. And then when you go onto the other side, you're going to flip it, do the same exact thing again. And then after that, on each side there will be 1 row. That's just the bordering row. But I'll show you a few more rows and then I'll go off screen to finish this. So of course, same exact thing again. And then you pick up your bottom pink, unclip it, pull it through like you normally do. Knot on your white band like usual. Put your hook through these outer 2 whites. Pick up your next colored band and unclip it. Pull it through. And then add on your white band as usual. And then of course, like I said, keep on going, doing the same exact thing till you get to the end, and then you're going to repeat it on the other side, and then I will show you how to do the final border. Okay, so I'm back. I have done this whole side, and it should look something like this. And when I got to the top, I just finished it like I normally did. You don't have to do anything special to finish it, just keep on going till you run out of bands. Then you just flip it right around and you do the exact same thing on the other side. So if you need to rewind the video, just go back to when I added these white bands, and again you do the exact same thing on this side. So I'm going to go do that off camera and then I'll come back to show you how to do the borders. Alright, so I'm back. I have officially done both sides. You should start to be able to see a row of color going down the middle, and then 2 rows of white going up. And I finished it the exact same way and everything. Now I'm going to show you how to do the final row, which is the fishtail border. So you notice these bands, these white bands are leaning this way. So that's the direction we're going to weave our fishtail. And also, the colored bands go one way, we're weaving the fishtail the other way. So we're going to weave the fishtail as well as, I guess, cross these colored bands over more. So we're doing 2 things at once as we go down this row. So you're going to pick up your first white and unclip it. And then you're going to pick up this first colored band that's sticking off of the white, still attached to your clip. And you're going to pull that over the white on your hook and drop it off and pick up the white again. So it looks like this. Then you're going to pick up your next white and unclip it. You're going to do the same thing again. You're going to grab this colored band sticking out at the bottom, pull it up and over this one white. You're going to forget about this other white for now. Pull it up and over, and then drop it off. And then you're going to pick up your third white, unclip it. Again, grab your colored band and pull it over this white and drop it off. And then after you have these 3 bands on your hook and you've dropped off all your colored bands, you're going to pull over your back white, which is the first fishtail band. After this, you grab your final white on this clip, unclip it, and now you're done with any of these clips that you clip off. So you're just going to set those aside. Then you do your same thing. Pick up the colored band that sticks out, pull it over the first white, and then drop it off. And then after you do that, pull over your back white. So we've done the setup, and now we're just repeating the same pattern until we get to the end. So this pattern again, grab your white from the clip and unclip it. Grab the colored band that sticks off of the band still attached to the clip. Pull it over the white. Drop it off. And then fishtail. And then again you repeat it. Pick up the white and unclip it. Grab your colored band. Pull it over this white and drop it off. And then fishtail. So you're just going to repeat the same exact pattern until you get to the very end. And I'll come back to show you how to finish it. And then you repeat the same thing all across the other side. So I'm going to finish this up off camera and I'll show you how to clip the end. So I'm back. I have fishtailed up this entire side. And it should look something like this. And then I stopped where I pulled my band over, and I would normally be about to start another repeat of the pattern, but I just have one band left here. So I'm going to slip that on and unclip. And then to finish it off, you're going to pull the back band over, then you're going to do that again. So now you only have one band on your hook. And you're going to pick up the other half of this band, which is the outer band, the outer right band on this group of 4 white bands here. And then you're going to pick up the outer left band as well. Kind of like how before when you would fishtail up this center part. And then you're going to grab one of your clips to finish off the bracelet and clip all 3 of these together. Like that. So now you've finished up this whole one side. And then you flip it over and you repeat the exact same thing that I showed you before on the other side. If you need to rewind the video, you can do that. But I'm going to do this whole side off camera and clip it. And then I'll show you how to clip the ends of the bracelet. And then you'll be done. Alright, I'm back. I have finished up the end. And the first one, we clipped these 3 bands, and of course you clip the other half the same exact way, and make sure that you get both ends of this last white clipped. Make sure you don't accidentally clip any other whites, like these 2 whites or these 2 whites. Now to finish it up, it's pretty easy. All you do is take your clips to the other end. And these big pink bands sticking out, big colored bands, you just clip both ends. And then you go to the other side and do the same thing. And there you go, there's your new improved Bae bracelet. Now one more thing before I leave you guys. I brought both my other Bae bracelets here. I'm going to remake these into the new and improved Baes. And I noticed that I didn't use as many bands as I use for the new Bae. The new Bae. I might just call it the new Bae. So I think I'm gonna add 6 more rows when I remake them. So I just figured I'd tell you guys that if you're gonna remake your old Bae bracelets, you want to make sure you have enough bands to add about 6 more rows, just to make sure you have enough bands to go around your wrist all the way. Or maybe that's just because I added the clasps, I don't know. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'd love to see you guys make this, and I'll see you later. Bye.